Hello gremlins. The lighting in here might be a little goofy. It is after work and sun is coming through some purple curtains and I feel like it's turning me a little purple. I just took all the dogs out. I am making a cup of coffee that actually matches my sweatshirt, which you may have seen, maybe not. I did this like get to know me booktube tag thing that Spooky Little Library tagged me in, and I posted it before this. But I was wearing this because I filmed it earlier today. But yeah, it is after work and I am hopefully going to be doing some reading. So I thought I would start this reading vlog now. If you are new here and a new gremlin, please know my hand is not always going to be like this. I'm getting it out of the way now because it looks like this and I don't know if people will ask. I got injured by a snowblower on February, I think 19th. It was whatever President's Day was. I lost part of these two fingers. I had surgery. They are healing. I have a post-op tomorrow actually. And presumably I'll be completely healed. Like the skin will have all healed by like the end of April, which will be nice. And then there'll be some more stuff that you have to do, but they'll be like this until then. So any vlog before the end of April, I'm gonna have gauze on. So the books that I have, so this is not like a super themed TBR. So I sometimes do those. Also, I'm so sorry. My nose feels like it's running so much. But I normally do like a very themed TBR, or like I try and make a themed one. This one is not that. So I do not buy a ton of books typically. I try and use my library a lot. I have Kindle Unlimited and I have Audible. So like I use those as best I can since I'm paying for them. But I do have some books that I want to read. Now, if you saw a recent vlog where I went book shopping, one of the books that I bought is not in this, but this is primarily recently hauled books. I did read one already that was in my like queer romance vlog, and then I'm saving one of them for either later this month or June. I haven't decided yet, but these are the ones I'm reading, and they're kind of themed in that they're like horror thrillers that I bought recently. So the first one is The Unworthy, and this is one I want to start tonight. This is by Augustina Bazterrica, and she wrote Tender as a Flesh, which I really enjoyed. It was like a dystopian future kind of book. This is a religious book, and I'm very curious. There is, I believe, a blurb, and it's just there. I'm just gonna say that there is a secret sisterhood, a mysterious convent, and a newcomer to this that may change everything for our main character. So I'm really intrigued about this because I really love religious horror and I'm so curious. So this is like my top read that I want to get to. So I want to start tonight. Also, it's pretty short. It also has fun like black sprayed edges from Barnes & Noble. So the next book, and I don't know if I'm reading them in this order either. So this is just the books I have. I have Ace of Spades. Oh, they're all gonna fall if I lift this. So we're gonna have to hold all of them. They're balanced very precariously on my desk. So next one that I have in the stack is Ace of Spades. I feel like everyone knows this. It was very popular and a ton of people have read this. I do remember Gossip Girl being used as a description. But I will tell you, when two Niveus Private Academy students, Devin Richards and Kamika, oh, I should look that up, are selected to be part of the elite school's senior prefects, it looks like their year's off to an amazing start. After all, not only does it look great on college applications, but officially puts them in the running for valedictorian too. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but it does go into someone going by aces and sending mysterious text messages. So again, I've heard really good things about this, and it was at Ollie's and on sale, so I just picked it up. The next one is not an Ollie's book, but it's the next one in the stack, is Blood on Her Tongue, which this one has really cool sprayed edges, and it turns out this was put out at a bookstore that I was at early. So this is set in the Netherlands in 1887. Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat, mumbles nonsensically, and is increasingly obsessed with a centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. She's diagnosed with temporary madness, but things get chilling. That's all I'm telling you. But I have that one too. And I'm very curious because if I like this one, I'm going to read My Darling Dreadful Thing, because that is also by this author, and I'm just so curious about this one. And the sprayed edges were very cool, though I did get it for the plot and I was excited because it wasn't even like wildly expensive for a new paperback. And then the last one is Reckless Girls, and I believe I heard incredibly mixed things about this because I think this is, yeah, one island, 6 visitors, countless secrets because someone goes missing, people turn up dead. This one's like a murder mystery thriller, and I just know that I remember it having mixed reviews, but I was so curious, and it was on sale at Ollie's too. So I have these 4 books. I'm going to start with The Unworthy probably tonight. So this is just like a casual, the vlog will start, and I'll fill you in as I go. But this is just like the tentative, I think I'm going to get to these 4 books. I do not like going back and filming intros, so we're just going with, this is what I have, this is what I think I'm reading. Sorry the light is weird and turning me purple, but you know what, whatever. But yes, so let's see how these go. I will fill you in when I have some kind of update about something, probably in The Unworthy, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. I will talk to you later, gremlins. Good morning. Yes, you're in the same spot. I promise you'll be in different places. So yesterday I didn't get very much reading done at all, which is totally fine. Krista and I wound up going out to dinner because she was like, I really don't want to eat leftovers, which is all we had. And she was like, why don't we just go out? So we did go out to eat, but I read a teeny bit of The Unworthy. So I will fill you in on this super quick without spoiling it. So what you do need to know for this is it is conceivably a dystopian future, much like Tenders the Flesh. We are at, I'm going to say quote unquote a convent, but they do say that where they are used to be like a monastery, or oh, the priest, the one for priests has its own name. It's not a convent. I can't remember. I used to know. I was raised Catholic. This is the thing I did know. Nope, it is not coming to me. So monastery, like priest area. Seems more monastery based on the layout because it seems really old. Only women are there except for an indeterminate unseen him who, it sounds very priesty, like he kind of does stuff. And then the other thing we're getting is there is some like alterations to the human body done for the sake of religion. At a certain point there is a crossed out section where our main character, whose former name used to be Helena, I believe, has written mutilated and crossed it out. So your faith is kind of tested through physical elements. I'm not going to get into it too much, but there are like different rankings and different like things that can occur to you depending on how like holy you are seen to be. And this is not technically Catholicism, not technically. They do say this religion is older than the gods created by man, but it is set up very Catholically. So if you know anything about Catholicism, this will seem very familiar to you. Just a little bit more stabby. So I am not very far in it at all, and it's a novella, so like that's all I'm gonna tell you. I'll give you my final thoughts when I do finish it. I did have a very busy morning, so I'm filling you in before work super fast because whew, was the time. So I believe it was my actual post-op. So it's so confusing. So I've had different appointments. I don't know if it was a post-op or if it's a follow-up. I'm not quite sure. Because I went in at a certain point after my surgery so they could just like check and make sure stuff was okay, but that wasn't my post-op. It doesn't really matter. But I went in to get checked out and I was told my fingers are looking very good. Things are filling in the way they should. I even have some nail growth, which is good on my ring finger. I have a nail bed, just the nail that's currently there isn't like a functioning nail. It is the nail that was there and it's being used to help the new nail grow. But I asked and he was like, no, it looks like you actually have some nail growth, which was like, is good because it's been 6 weeks. So that's growing a nail. This one looked good. This is the one that has to do the most tissue filling. So it has to do the most healing of the two, but it is doing well, which is great. And then like they were scheduled at the same time, mostly because I was just supposed to like pop into my physical therapist after so he could like check things really fast. So I did like x-rays, I did the meeting with my doctor, well, the PA, but same thing, he was in the surgical room. Then I went to physical therapy and then like had my hand basically worked out very quickly because it was just kind of like a check and me telling him like, oh, everything looks good. They said I'm good. And then apparently one of my stitches, so these are dissolvable stitches and periodically they get very loose because they're dissolving, and one of my stitches decided it was ready to come out while I was at physical therapy, which is fine. It's just a little creepy to watch. But so I did all that. My hand is sore from being manipulated a lot. And then I had to schedule another appointment, so a final follow-up, just to like no x-rays the final time, but I'll just make sure everything is looking good, that scar tissue has been molded well. I have to wait a few more weeks for everything to be completely healed. And then I'll get these like sleeves you put on that shape your scar tissue. And so the the appointment in 6 weeks will be checking to see like how the scar tissue is doing and how it's being molded by the little sleeve guys. So that's nice. It'll be right before we have some stuff going on, so that'll be a solid like end of appointment. I think I also will finish physical therapy about then, if not sooner. I don't quite know how that works. I'll know closer to that date, I guess. But everything's going well. My hand is just a little tired and a little sore. And I did take ibuprofen in advance just to like help mitigate swelling and stuff, just because they do a lot of like pushing and prodding and pulling and a lot of things happen. So yeah, so positive news on my hand. And it's also wrapped more professionally than I wrap them. The person who does my physical therapy, he always wraps them so meticulously, and I'm like, yeah, mine never look that nice. But he has better scissors and different stuff. So yeah, so it was a good thing. I am going to continue drinking my coffee in my Stay Cookie cup. I am so cold. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue drinking my coffee and yeah, start work. But I wanted to fill you in on at least some things, because it's always nice to know that things are going well in the hand department. So yeah, I'll fill you in when I have some of the Unworthy read, or really when I finish it, because I feel like this is so short that if I fill you in, I'll like spoil things. So I will read it at some point. I might read a little during lunch, some after work. I don't know, but I'll read some of it. I also might be picking up a library book that is also pretty short, Victorian Psycho. My request came in, but I haven't been able to get to the library, so we'll see. I might add this to this vlog because I'm very sure it's not a long, like I don't think I can have it out for very long. So we'll see. Reading things may change for this. This is all very loosey-goosey anyway, but I gotta go. I will update you on the Unworthy when I have read more than, I think I'm only like 15 pages in. So I will update you more when I can. So yeah, I'm gonna drink coffee and get to work, gremlins. Hello, gremlins. I promised you a new location. So it is before work. I need to get into the office in just a couple of minutes. So I had so little of the Unworthy left that I just wanted to finish it. So I finished this before work and I have changed the TBR. But first, the Unworthy. I was incorrect. Our main character's name is not Helena or Helena. So I will tell you, so in the description, it mentions a strange newcomer, and it does talk about the sisterhood in general. So this isn't really a surprise. Oh, hi, Salem. One of our cats is behind me and she was talking. Hi. Hello. Hi. But our main character was talking about a woman named Helena, and I misread it because she had said like she was talking about herself before, and then she had the name Helena, and so I thought maybe like Helena? It doesn't really matter. I thought she was talking about like her life before and that was the name she had. No, we actually never learn our main character's name, her before name or her sisterhood name, because your name is changed in the sisterhood. That's all we know. The newcomer does arrive, and that newcomer's name is Lucia. I believe that's the name she is given. That's not her given name, like her real world name. It's the name that the sisterhood gives her eventually. There is a lot happening in this. So a lot of this is religion and like how religion distorts things, and the creation of like a cult like religion that benefits some but not many. And it really does get more into what is going on, and I am very sure that this story in The Unworthy is set in the same like world or post-apocalyptic timeline as Tender as the Flesh. It just feels very similar. It actually could be set after some of the events in there, because I do remember them talking about like trees in that. So I think this might be set after that, or maybe it is concurrently happening, but it may be after. So in this, the character we're following, she's writing everything down. So everything that we're reading is like her journal. So this is sort of a journal. It's a collection of her recollections, things that are actually happening. Sometimes she is interrupted, so sometimes a sentence will just stop. We do get some of her before she arrived at the sisterhood. Please note there is a character named Circe, and do not ask me why, but I initially thought Circe was a person. Circe is not a person. That's all I will say. Circe is not a person. So we get a lot of like discussion of what the sisterhood is doing, the rituals of the sisterhood, and then becoming chosen as the enlightened, and the punishments that are doled out by their superior sister. It is some of it is very graphic, in that the punishments are very intensive. Sometimes these punishments are taken on they volunteer to do these punishments, but the idea is that you're doing these things as a sacrifice to protect the sisterhood. It is a lot. Also, they eat a lot of crickets, which is interesting, and you can actually survive on crickets. They talk about a lot of interesting things where I was like, yeah, you could actually do that. I think that does actually already exist. So that was interesting. It was very good. The writing is something you really have to pay attention to. It isn't that it's translated, I don't think. It's more that our character is sort of like contending with the past and the present, and so sometimes you're like moving between things. Also, she's very hungry consistently, so some of it is like ethereal, or like you can't really tell if she's experiencing something correctly or if that's her true experience, or if she's sort of like so hungry that she's kind of seeing things, that kind of stuff. But I really enjoyed it. I like this one more than Tender is the Flesh, and the reason for that is this is secretly gay. No one, I think, mentioned this. It's secretly gay. There are only women in this book. Well, there's one guy that we don't really interact with, but there's only one, like, there are only women mentioned in this, and our main character definitely into women, so it's gay. I don't know why no one mentioned this to me. I would have been even more excited knowing it had religion in it and was gay, and it is. So look at that. So that was a very fun time in that it was creepy, but I mean, there's less people eating. So I guess that's a tiny plus. A lot of the violence is couched in they are doing this because they are saints or because our religion says to. Whatever this religion is, it's never officially like, it's like the something of the enlightened. I don't know that has a full name. But that they are taken on. The end of the book does have a graphic scene and a revelation of something that occurred. I'm just doing this because it's kind of teased earlier on, but you get confirmation of it. But it was really well written. The writing style is very interesting, and I think the translation does a great job. So I did enjoy it, and I would recommend it. I would even say if you didn't like Tender is the Flesh, because like the concept of that was a little creepy, I think you'd be okay with this one. Now, this is the change. So I did go to the library yesterday, and my copy of Victorian Psycho is in, and I do not have this for a long amount of time because it's a new release. Also found out this is not the author's first book. Do not ask me why I thought that, but I feel like no one had mentioned she wrote another book. This is her second book. And the librarian that I was talking to was like, oh no, I liked her original book, like her debut novel. And the debut novel is called Mrs. March. So we're gonna see how I like this, and then I might pick that up later because the librarian was like, we have Mrs. March, it's downstairs, like in the fiction area. So I was like, oh, good to know. But this is very short, even though it says novel. I think this is, well, that, I don't know. Yeah, this is under 200 pages. So I think this will be a fast read. I'm very curious. The description of it that I'm going to give you, see, and it even mentions that Mrs. March was hailed as a brilliant debut. So I don't know, I feel like no video where this has been mentioned has mentioned that. Okay, I will give you a brief description. So Winifred Naughty arrives at Ensor House, prepared to play the perfect governess. She'll dutifully tutor her charges, Drusilla and Andrew, tell them bedtime stories, and only joke about eating children. But long, listless days spent within the estate's dreary confines come with an intimate knowledge of the perversions. Ow, child! Ouch. Salem, who is behind me, just dug all of her nails into my back, so I would pay attention into my back, which really hurt to get my attention. Hi. The estate's dreary confines come with an intimate knowledge of the perversions and pathetic preoccupations of the Pounds family. That is all I'm going to say. It gets more into detail, but yeah, that's what we have. I am glad that I got this through the library because it's $25 otherwise. This is so tiny. But yeah, I'm gonna read this next. I will then probably read Blood on Her Tongue, which apparently my library also just got. They were like, oh yeah, we just got that in, like today when I was coming by. So I'm gonna read this and then Blood on Her Tongue, but I will talk to you about Victorian Psycho first. I desperately need to grab coffee and I need to get into my office. So I still have like a few minutes. Krista had really early court today, but coffee. Desperately need coffee. Also, I'm wearing my very cozy Ouija sweatshirt. It is comfortable. And yeah, so I'm gonna go, but did enjoy The Unworthy. It is a good horror read, especially if you like religious horror. And I am very curious about Victorian Psycho. I'm so curious. And I'm really hoping I like it because I'm intrigued by the fact that she has another book that I somehow did not know anything about. So yeah, Victorian Psycho is next, Gremlins, and I will update you when I have something to update you on. Hello, it is during my lunch break, and I thought I would just give you a tiny update. So I've read a little bit of Victorian Psycho, not a lot. This is so good. our main character is definitely unhinged, and I am truly enjoying it. It also has a very, like, kind of, is Dickensian the right setup? I don't know, maybe more like Victorian-y. Think Wuthering Heights, or, oh my gosh, why is my brain soup? Oh gosh, we're gonna say Wuthering Heights, but it has that tone. I did say Dickens because it has like the specific chapter headings that make me think of Dickens, where it's like, in which I meet my employers and I am unimpressed. That's actually one of the titles, and there are some images, so it reminds me a bit of these editions of Dickens that I had for school, but it is very of the like 1800s. Though I'm truly enjoying it, I read you the description, and yeah, her employer is dope. So the husband is very into phrenology and also has some thoughts. The wife does not like where they're living and seems very just like cowed by her husband. Like, she'll go to say something and he's like, okay, but also maybe you're being ridiculous. And then she just kind of shuts up, which sucks, but would have been of the time. The two children are interesting. The son, definitely very spoiled. The daughter also spoiled, but like described very oddly by the parents. And then when she arrived, our main character, who has told the kids to call her Fred, was just kind of like, okay. Like, saw her and was like, okay, she's gonna learn how to needlepoint. Got it. So I don't know, the tone of it is great. I'm loving the character, so I am just having a very fun time. I'm very sure I'm going to keep enjoying it, but I just thought I would fill you in. Also, this is going to become an even more chaotic vlog because First Light, a book I have been desperate to read for probably a year, is on KU now. And I read Knight's Edge and loved it and wanted to read First Light and haven't been able to, and now it is on KU. So I'm just like, do I read that after Victorian Psycho? But like, it'll be available for the whole week. So do I read Victorian Psycho and then read Blood on Her Tongue? Yeah, Blood on Her Tongue, and then that, and just completely disregard the Reckless Girls and Ace of Spades and read those later? Like, I don't know. I haven't decided, so I don't know. I'm just feeling truly chaotic because I have a list of books. So I have a wish list on Amazon. I don't make it public. I just like save books there so I can see them and like keep an eye on like when they're releasing, or like look them up in my library later, because sometimes my library won't have a book and then they will have a book, so I can't like save it on my library site. I kind of have a quote-unquote wish list on both. So I have one for my library that is saved for laters, and then I have the Amazon one where I just like track books and keep an eye on them. And I just happened to be looking because I was like, oh, I should see, like, I should make a list for some books I want to check that the library has. Oh, I'm gonna have to go. But First Light was on KU and I was so excited. But loving Victorian Psycho, definitely reading First Light. I just don't know when, but I gotta go. This is truly just the most chaotic vlog ever, but I will talk to you later, gremlins, in all of this chaos. Good morning. I thought, gremlins, I would at least give you a slightly different location. So we're in my kitchen. I am making coffee, which is very slow going right now. The machine has to warm up, but this is my coffee for today. So this is the Easter Joffrey's coffee, and I get the seasonal one every time. So like there is normally like St. Patrick's Day, a Valentine's Day, a Christmas, stuff like that. I always get them, like Krista gets them for me, or we find them at TJ Maxx. So this is Easter, and I'm finishing that because these are all here, but they're all sealed. So this is unlabeled. None of these are labeled, which is a little chaotic. This is their Tiana coffee, which is delicious. This is a Snow White coffee that tastes like apples and is really, really good. And then this is lavender coffee that has like daisy on it, and I don't really get why it has daisy on it, but that's what's in here. This is super floral. This is very apple-y. This tastes like a beignet. Delicious. This is kind of, I feel like this flavor, the caramel dark chocolate, is their go-to for all their seasonals, which kind of makes sense because they can just like put the same coffee in a different bag. So that's what this is basically. It's good though, and the packaging is cute. They revamped it. This is technically like, I think last year's packaging. This year's has like flowers and stuff on it. I don't know. It is very, very cute. So I'm gonna get in my Roswell Pea Flower Memorial Library cup that I got at the anniversary event at our library in January, which is also roughly when I got the tattoo. It was like a week after, but the tattoo that I posted on Instagram. But I have a library tattoo. It's not of the library. You could get those. I'm gonna come over here for a sec. So, ooh, coffee's done. You could actually get like very specific to the library tattoos. So like, putting you down for a sec. I think this will work. You could get like, we have stone lions. You could get a stone lion. You could get these like water fountain fish. You get a bunch of things, but in case you haven't seen it, I got, it's really hard to show on my camera unless I angle you, so you're gonna see it this way. It is a book with paw print and I got it because I love books and I love all of our animals because they are our furry kiddos. So yeah, this is like a big commemoration of things I love in one tattoo. And then I've had this one forever. Not forever, but Krista and I got tattoos together in 2027 before 2027. Good time travel, 2017, before we were even dating, and it stands for ClexaCon Las Vegas, which is actually where I met her. But I do have a book update before I grab my coffee. This is Victorian Psycho, which I gave you like the most brief of updates yesterday. I am now slightly over halfway through. Chaos. There are dead bodies. There are dead bodies and the hiding of dead bodies and delusions and earlobe licking and horse danger. There's just a lot of things. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, hold on. But it is wild. I love it. If you liked American Psycho and wanted it to be more female forward, that is this book. Also, if you love the Victorian period, do it. This is just very, very good. It feels very good for her. But I'm truly loving this book. This is wild. I just want to be reading it, but you know, work. But besides work, yesterday Kristen and I had a really fun date night. She got home earlier than expected. Hi, G. She never comes up here. We don't normally let the cats on the counter, but oh, hi, sorry. But Grace is getting special privileges because she never comes up here. So I'm not going to push her down because it'll scare her. Also, yes, those are Amazon packages. There's a bunch of random stuff over there. Krista's doing home reno projects and all of the stuff is in the kitchen because we don't have anywhere else to store it. Yeah, I'm just going to let her walk around up there. Now she's on the little table with my coffee maker, which is fine. But very quickly, we wound up doing like a go out to dinner date night thing. So normally we don't on a night she has court, but court ended early. He knows he's not supposed to be up here. But he's like, oh, you're being nice to the little one, so I'll climb in the sink. So I'm gonna have to go so I can get them out of things they're not supposed to be in. But we went to this place called Wayback Burger. It was delicious. I got a garden burger, and I have not had a garden burger since I was like, okay, maybe I had one in my early 20s, but I used to eat them all the time because Burger King had them, and now they have Impossible Burgers, and I don't like Impossible Burgers. Also not vegetarian. I was vegetarian for a really long time, but I love garden burgers, and so they had a garden burger, and I had it, and it was incredible, and it had this bourbon mustard on it, and I loved it. I also got tater tots and a cinnamon toast crunch milkshake. It was exceptional, and we were so full after. And then there's a really nice Walmart, and I say that because, oh, they're gonna bark. Okay, we're gonna go. We walked around Walmart after. That's all I was gonna say. But they're barking at something and I need to go. So I will talk to you later when I finish Victorian Psycho, and I'm gonna try and talk over them. So I'll talk to you later, gremlins, because they're super loud. Bye! Hello, dear gremlins. It is during my lunch break. I need you to know. I have finished. I stacked things. Oh gosh. I have finished Victorian Psycho. And this ended so incredibly, was absolutely wild. I highly recommend for truly unhinged content. This was so good. This was just, oh my gosh. The ending, bananas. This was so good. I need to read Mrs. March, her first book, but that's gonna wait a little bit, solely because I have a few books to read and I keep being like, oh no, I have more. The TBR is wild, but this, incredible. So incredible. This was just like a wild time. There's just like, remember how I mentioned their bodies? There are more bodies, and there are some very interesting deaths, but this is so freaking good. And I have also decided, because I finished that one, and we're in like the Victorian-y vibe, that I am going to start Blood on Her Tongue next. So this, I don't think I told you the premise, but this is set in the Netherlands in 1887, and I'm just going to read you some of this in case I forgot. I don't remember. But we're focusing on Lucy and her twin sister, Sarah. Sarah is unwell and she's refusing to eat. She's mumbling nonsensically and is increasingly obsessed with a centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. The doctor has diagnosed her with temporary insanity caused by a fever of the brain. And to protect her sister from being sent to the lunatic asylum, Lucy must unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's condition. That's all I'm going to tell you. There's more on here, but I have read the author's note at the beginning, so there's like a note with like things you'll come across in this book, which is very well written. It was very fun. It set you up for the tone of the book. And then I read the like, I always forget what, there we go. The, oh my gosh, acknowledgement? No. Dedication. Oh my good God. The dedication. And she dedicated the book to her wife, Karina, which was so fun. So this is written by, oh gosh, Joanna van Veen. And I'm assuming it's Joanna and not Joanna, because Netherlands, but I could be wrong because I don't know how people are saying this. My guess would be Joanna, but again, I could be very wrong. Who also seems to be a multiple because she mentions her sisters and says twins or triplets, so multiple. My brother and sister are twins. I am not, but I'm just like, curious. So yes, I am very intrigued. This is such a fun sprayed edge. I don't really care about sprayed edges normally, but this is just really fun. The book is beautiful. Like, I love this cover, and then there's a black and white version that does not have the dog on the inside, just for you to see. So it's a very beautiful book. I am very excited to read it. If I like this one, I am going to read her other one at some point. But this is also blurbed by CJ Lead, so that is very fun. I am just very excited to read this, if you can't tell. I just like, I'm not over American or Victorian Psycho yet, so my brain is like, oh, that book was so good. So this one is next. I will read this one and then I will end the vlog with First Light because that one I can read pretty easily. It'll be on my iPad that I use as a Kindle and I can read that at night. But Krista has court again tonight, so I will read this while she's at court, possibly a little bit during what is left of my lunch break. There's not much time left, so I don't think I'll get to much, but we'll see. I'm just excited to start this one since I'm in the like historically Victorian vibe. So that'll be next, and I will update you when I get through some of it. I was going to say brain. Oh, because I didn't get to finish my thing because the dogs were barking. A package came, FYI. That's why they were barking. I thought they were barking at our neighbor's dog, but it was a package. Things. So yes, we had a date night yesterday and we went to Wayback Burger and I talked about all of that, and then we walked around Walmart. And admittedly, we walked around Walmart because I was very, very full, and Krista married into a family where when you like finish eating, you go for a walk somewhere, and Walmart was literally right next door. And I called it the nice Walmart because it's not in the town we live in. It's like not even 20 minutes away, but it's much nicer. It's bigger. They clean it more often. It has better stock. And we just like walked around. We weren't looking for anything. So we walked around a little bit, just scoured, not really scoured. I like looked at books to see what was out. They sometimes have a decent book selection, but it seemed like they either hadn't gotten stuff in recently or maybe they're just not ordering as much. So there wasn't really much to look at. And then we like walked through the toy aisle, and then yeah, we came home. And it was already pretty late because she did have court. So even though she got done early, we didn't eat until like 7. And then we didn't finish eating until like 7:30, 7:45, and then we walked around, so we didn't even get home till like 8:30. And then we just watched Prison Break and went to bed. We're watching Prison Break right now, if I haven't mentioned that. I've never seen it. Krista said she had seen it, but it's been a while, so we're watching it just cause. And yeah, that was it. We have a ton of TV to watch today because like Yellow Jackets has a new episode today, and then Krista watches Grey's. We watched Dr. Odyssey. I think we have Next Level, is it just Next Level Kitchen Chef? I don't know, it's a cooking show. And then we also have Amazing Race. So we have a bunch of stuff to like get through this weekend. So yeah, but I'm gonna go Gremlins because my lunch break is ending very, very soon. So I will update you on Blood on Her Tongue when I can. Hello, you're at a very weird angle, but you're on the floor in my office. Work is done. I worked a teeny bit past 5, mostly to finish stuff up, and then I was supposed to run an update on my computer, and then it like, I don't think it took, which is annoying. Like it downloaded but it didn't run. I'm not dealing with it. I'm just not. I'll deal with it when I'm back at work next week. So yeah, this week was madness, and today was like the worst day in terms of like constant stuff happening. Not like bad stuff, it's just like my department was like understaffed all week, which we knew was happening. And like we would get super busy and then there would be like a lull, so it would like work out, so we'd be like all slammed and then we'd like be fine. I also love that it's focusing on Chucky's face like really hardcore. But today it was just like non-stop. I think I maybe had 20 minutes this morning where something wasn't happening that I had to deal with, and then like up until I left I was like, oh. So I'm just like very tired and sore, which is an odd thing to say because it's a desk job, but I stand for my work day because I prefer to stand instead of sitting. And with my hand, sometimes like with angles that I'm holding it, if it hurts, and like my hand was getting really sore even though I'm not really typing with these two fingers, I'm only typing with like these, like I think I'll get like tense, and so like I'll be like going like this because my back is killing me, which doesn't even make sense. Ugh, okay, but I need to be quick because again, Krista has night court, but I'm bringing up some of the dogs so they can hang out. But Krista surprised me at lunch, and I did not tell you about this. So she brought barbecue because I've been wanting barbecue from this barbecue place, and they keep being sold out or closed early every time we go, and it's such good food. She got me brisket and double cornbread, and I had potato salad and coleslaw, and it was really, really, really good. And I ate so much so quickly that I was like, I'm gonna die of fullness because I was so full, but it was so good. But she also, so she told me last night, when we were walking around Walmart, she told me that she got me an Easter basket, which we like don't normally do Easter baskets. It's not a thing we do. And I was like, what? I didn't, so I didn't do anything because we don't do Easter baskets. Easter is not till the 20th. So I told her she has to give me time to like make her something in exchange. And she's like, I don't need anything, but I'm gonna do something. You may have to assist me and figure out what we're doing. But apparently all this stuff came today, so she wanted to surprise me. Now there was candy in here, there were gummies, but my office is oddly warm because it's so sunny, and so I took them downstairs to a colder room, just into our kitchen so they don't get melty, so I don't have them. But they're like Haribo gummy thingies. Happy World of Haribo. Anyway, that shouldn't get me in trouble for copyright. That was a very poorly sung version of their theme. So this is the bucket. It has a little bunny butt. It's very cute. And I thought I would show you, there's something really heavy in here. I'm gonna show you that first, because she also got one for herself. So she got us matching ones. It's a Care Bears ramen container. It's gonna really try and focus on Chucky. So there's so much stuff around me. Chucky, where's your face? Maybe that'll work. Sort of, kind of. It is, there we go. It's the Care Bear Cousins. So none of them are bears, but I love the little raccoon guy. He's so cute. And I looked up what his name is and now I can't remember, but the raccoon is adorable. Then the other stuff, now it's gonna be blurry because it's like, who am I focusing on? The doll, the Catherine, the bowl. Is it not gonna come back? I've done this a couple times. Hold on, let's see. I really don't want to stop filming just so you focus again. Come on, you can do it. Hi, I'm right here. Hello, that's kind of better, but I'm still blurry. We'll just finish this up really quick because it's going to be difficult. So she also got me a Beetlejuice rubber duck, which is super cute. And I'm going to add to like this vicinity. It's not going to focus on me now at all. But I'm going to put it behind me if it wants to focus ever again. Hi, no. We're going to power through. I'm just annoyed now. She got me an Oogie Boogie little figure. I'm not sure where I'm putting him yet, but he's going up. And then we're gonna breeze through the rest of these while it's being difficult. Then these two, so one is animated series Joker and one is Adam West Batman. They're so tiny, I don't know if it'll even sort of focus. They're like itty bitty Funkos. And then she got me blind boxes for villains, and these are the ones I got. So Hades, Evil Queen, and then this is the one I was really excited for, Dr. Facilier. He's so cool. I love Princess and the Frog. So yeah, that is everything. Oh, it's gonna kind of focus again. Look at that. So the Beetlejuice duck is going over here with like some Beetlejuicy stuff and horror-y stuff because I have the tombstone back there. But I'm leaving a lot of this in the office. I need to take the ramen bowl downstairs. I'm just gonna leave the basket up here. But yeah, so I wanted to show you that because I completely forgot. I was trying to fill you in on the book and then I just kind of like didn't get to it. But yeah, so she brought me stuff and it was very, very sweet of her. She was like, you've been so stressed that I thought I would do something nice for you, which I really appreciate. But she's super busy with her work and she works so many late shifts, and I typically right now, like, we have someone who could flex their schedule so they're covering a shift for someone, and technically I could have attempted to do that, but it's like it's such a mess based on what my job is to do that, because then we don't have someone doing stuff during the day for part of it, and it just does not work out. So I didn't do that. But yeah, so she's been very busy too. Like, she's had a ton of courts and she's been covering for people, so she is also very tired. So, and like, she's really tired, so I appreciate her doing stuff for me when I already know she's tired too. Hopefully next week. So admittedly, I don't have work on Monday, which I totally forgot about. So Krista had me take off some days when she was going through her work schedule like ages ago, and one of those days was April 7th. So I don't have work on April 7th because I took it off and I got approved. So, and I got approved a long time ago, so I just forgot. But yeah, so I don't have work. So that'll be nice because I'm exhausted, and I still have stuff on Monday. Like, we have stuff going on Monday. I just don't have to go to work, so that is a plus. But oh gosh, oh my god, I have to go. Besides the fact that I'm yawning, I need to get the bedroom situated for the dogs. I need to change. I need to grab something to drink. I don't know what that's gonna be. I might grab a cider or something. Also, my fingers hurt because I did PT, and it's not like cold, but it was cold enough that they hurt. So I am going to go chill with the dogs, and I want to read, but also I am so tired. I feel like I might just fall asleep, so we'll see. I don't know. Brain, do I even have thoughts anymore? I think it's just soup up here. Yeah, but I'm gonna go because I'm tired. And also, I just realized that my hair is getting incredibly long. I haven't had it cut since when did I? August? Was it August? I think it was August. I haven't had it cut in a while. I haven't had it colored since then either. So this is just like casually growing out. But I think it still looks really good, so I'm not that worried about it. Sorry, my brain again is soup, so it's all over the place. But I gotta go up and take this cute Roman bowl downstairs, and yeah, and other things. But I'm not gonna talk to you anymore tonight, I don't think, because I am too tired to form thoughts that are coherent at this point. I'm ping-ponging all over the place. And when Krista gets home, we're just gonna probably go to bed, or I mean, we'll eat dinner and then go to bed, or however that plan works. So yeah, sorry, I'm so tired. I just want to close my eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna go Gremlins because I'm really tired. So yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I think we're going to a fun thing tomorrow that I might take you to very briefly, just to like show you the thing. But that it's like one thing tomorrow, but I'm not going to explain what it is in advance, just in case. Well, one, Krista explained it to me and I'm too tired to explain it to you coherently, I think. And just in the event that I can't film, I'll just tell you about it afterwards anyway. So yeah, but I'm gonna go rest. I will talk to you later, Gremlins, possibly with a book update, possibly not. We'll see how I'm feeling. Bye for now. Hello, I'm at my fancy library. I'm dropping off Victorian Psycho and picking up some books, but I thought while I was here, I'd walk you around a little. There's no one ever in here. This is the large print room, and I've only seen people in here like twice. Yeah, so fun library. And I wanted to show you this room through here because I never get to come this way. Hopefully it's not too reflective. So this is one of the like historic rooms. It's really cool. There's a giant thing right there, but it's really hard to show the area of that room, and I always think it's so cool. But yeah, so fancy library. I just don't want to film anyone, so throw in here. And that says, "A Blessed Companion is a book." But yeah, don't want to film anybody. Okay, they're walking that way. That's my bag. But you can see the rest of the room. Kind of. The window is always really dark. And then these guys are so goofy. These don't work anymore. But these are like water fountain fish. I don't know. I think they're fun. But I gotta go return my book because we have something else going on. So please enjoy Little Fish Guy. And yeah. Bye for now, Gremlins.
That I don't remember.
Hi there, bud. How you doing?
Ask them if they have any information on it. Well, hi. Hello. Hi, little ones. I love the little beaties that are brindle.
Hello. Oh, that's fine. She's grabbing food, everybody. Hello. I have not talked to you in many hours because I didn't really vlog Saturday and I didn't vlog Sunday at all. Saturday, oh, Krista is over here. She's opening peanut butter M&Ms. She says hi. Oh, you should tell them about the thing you tried. The Peep thing.
Oh, it tastes like Peeps. So if you like Peeps, you should get it. It's large. It'll give you brain freeze.
Oh yeah, so there's a Peeps Icy at Regal, like the movie theater, and Krista really wanted to try it, and I thought it tasted absolutely horrifying, but it did taste like Peeps, and Krista really liked it. But yeah, what did we, okay, so Saturday, you kind of saw stuff. We didn't really do anything in the morning. We were just at home. And then we went to a fundraising event that is like so you don't sleep over, but there's a sleepover part where people
you
like
sleep over if you want.
Oh no. So it's I don't remember the name of it.
Slumber Paw Tea.
Okay, but what organization is it? Is it just like a North Country dog thing?
North Country Pet Rescue.
There you go. So they do this big event. It's their like big fundraiser for the year. And they had it at a different location. They had it at like an event spot that was also camping grounds. And we went because you could like go see puppies, make a donation, and that's what you saw. So you got to see puppies. And then we donated money and got like raffle tickets with the donation. I don't think we won anything as no one has contacted us.
I'll call from a weird number.
Oh.
I'll see.
Okay. We might have won something, who knows. We put tickets in for this raffle. The puppies were very cute. We were not getting a puppy. We just went to see them. We saw some dogs. Krista's checking her voicemail. Hold on, in case it's something you can hear and it's not that. Hold on. We didn't win. It was an automated scam thing. But I didn't record because it was also like a voicemail from the doctor's office, which Krista has registered for this doctor's appointment a bunch of times already, and they keep calling to be like, you have to pre-register. And she's like, I already registered. It's so bizarre. It's not even, it's just a doctor's appointment. Anyway, we saw puppies. That was cute. And then we found like a random restaurant called Snug Harbor Bar. And we like drove out, and I initially did not want to go in because it did not look like a place that people who aren't locals eat at, but it was actually really, really good. And they were very nice. I had a very strong gin drink. And then we got home. We hung out because we were both really full. Then didn't we have to run errands?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ran a couple errands that we had to. Then that was really it. And then we went out yesterday for a little bit. And then today I had physical therapy really early, so we went to physical therapy. That was quick. I also had to have a stitch trimmed because it partially unattached from me and didn't want to come off. So that was gross. Normally they just like come out. They're dissolvable stitches. It was slightly horrifying. But we did that. We came home. We went back to sleep because we're very tired. Also, yes, it's Monday and we took this day off a while ago. Which was good because we're both exhausted because we slept a lot. And then we got up and we took the dogs back out and we had lunch. And we watched some people who went to Epic Universe, watched their videos. And then yeah, that's basically been the weekend. I have done no reading at all. We watched a lot of Prison Break, which I was going to tell you about. So I did not expect this, but there is a lot of amputation content in Prison Break. Someone loses 2 toes, which are very similar to the tips of fingers, just FYI. And then someone loses a hand consistently, and that's gross. There's just a lot of amputation, which I was shocked by. But yeah, anything else? Peeps, you tried the Peeps Icy. Bruni got shots because he needed to get shots, and he was very good. So he got a pup cup. That was the other thing we had to do. That was what we had to go out for on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, wait, we had to do something. See, or Sunday. That was the Sunday thing. So yeah, we just have been like running errands, doing stuff. Nothing wildly exciting. We've watched a lot of Prison Break. You're working on the bathroom possibly today? Mm-hmm. So I might read a little while Krista's doing that, but so far, that's about it. Oh, and you saw we went to the library. I also had, like, I've just had a lot of library books come in, and I have a bunch more that are in transit, so apparently I'll have more next week. Well, this week. It's this week. So yeah, that's really it. The goal is to still finish this book and the First Light book before I end this video. So that's the plan. But I'm gonna go. I just thought I would give you some kind of update. We truly have not done a lot because I wasn't gonna just vlog us in the bedroom watching television. But yeah, so that's really been it. Currently.
Tell me what you think about Prison Break. You only talked about implication.
Oh, it's good. It's very like dramatic, and they end everything on a cliffhanger. So you basically have to keep watching. So I don't know how people manage that as a weekly television program without going absolutely feral about the fact that they had no idea what was going on. But yeah, it's really good. And some of the characters are very creepy. Also, there are a lot of familiar faces that pop up a lot.
Trump wants to rescind all funding for the Holocaust Museum.
Oh, lovely. Okay, I am gonna go. He's already, well, because it's probably a public thing. They're destroying all the museum funds. That's what they're, yeah.
Well, museum funds that don't make
Well,
white men look good.
It's all museum funds, library funds. It's a lot of stuff. They're just cutting grant money everywhere, which is horrible.
Doesn't need to be uncomfortable.
Yes, it's for all things. It's not just that one. But yes. Okay, we're gonna go. So I will talk to you when I have book updates about stuff. Yeah. Also support your local libraries because all of their funding got cut and a bunch of grants aren't going through that have technically already been spent because the grants were awarded last year, but the funds hadn't made it to them, or grants are tricky things.
Support Dr. Odyssey for Joshua Jackson.
Yes, and
his
that.
house burned down and he needs the money.
Oh gosh, so many things. Yes, we've been watching Dr. Odyssey. This is like the most ping-pongy, chaotic update. I also took a shower yesterday and my hair's doing weird things. But yeah, support your local libraries and museums and all the things that they're cutting funding for that make up very little of our actual budget. Because most of our budget is not for helping citizens. It's for, you know, lots of other stuff that I'm not going to get into because I feel like I would probably get some kind of like weird strike. But yeah, so support all of your
if you order dog pajamas, they're coming soon. They ship today.
Yes, we have dog pajamas coming. They're very cute. The dogs.
4 different designs.
Yes, you'll get to see them whenever they show up. But I'm gonna go. The TV just turned off. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll probably watch something. So I will talk to you later, Gremlins, when I have a book update. And maybe less chaotic. I'm never less chaotic. But when I have a book update. Bye for now. Good morning, Gremlins. Today is going to be probably unbridled chaos. So without getting into too many like specifics, it is before work. I came into work early because I was out yesterday. And weird things are going on in terms of tech, which is a problem. And so that's happening. There were also some issues yesterday, I guess, that I basically have to play catch up with, and then some other stuff that didn't get done. So it's just like a very unfun day already. It also snowed in April. It is April 8th and it snowed. It's still snowing. So like today just feels so chaotic already. I have coffee. I have a very large cup of coffee in my Vampire Blood mug. This holds 20 ounces. I chose it because I thought I would need coffee. I definitely do. So, on top of coffee, I have a ton of YouTube videos to play while I work, which is a plus. I will grant that is a plus. I have a lot of stuff to watch while I work or get very angry that things are not working. But I have lots of videos, so that's a plus. Anyway, I have finished Blood on Her Tongue. I know I look very blue. My monitors have to be on and I can't film anywhere else. So, yeah, I finished this. As soon as I started reading it yesterday, I did not want to put it down. So I introduced that there were sisters, so it's Lucy and Sarah. Sarah's illness takes an absolutely wild turn. We learn more about the Bog Woman, because I don't want to spoil anything. So we do get some info on the Bog Woman, but like things get wild. There's a sapphic relationship, and I would bet you it's not the character you think it's going to be. There are very viscerally painful eyeball scenes involving different characters. And then, Joanna, I need to talk to you because I'm reading this book. I'm expecting body horror. I'm expecting horrible things to occur. There's also like a desire to eat flesh. So I'm like, okay, that's gonna happen. Someone gets their right hand bitten. Fingers gone. Not gonna say who, but like as a woman with an accidental amputation finger injury, as soon as that happened, I just went, ugh. Theirs was way worse than mine. Mine much less gross. Also, there's a cautery involved, like cauterization is involved, and I was like, oh god, no, thank you. So incredible book. The writing is beautiful. The storytelling gets so interesting, and there's just like so much going on, and there's so many like just interesting characters in general. It's definitely a good for her book, and I thought the setting of it was lovely. I feel like if you like Carmilla, Dracula, there was one other book that popped into my head that I thought fit well, but for sure Carmilla and Dracula. Dracula is mentioned in this, but I feel like Carmilla ties in a little bit in certain scenes. And what was it? Oh, kind of Frankenstein. And I say that in like the sense of knowledge pushing the doctor, like Dr. Frankenstein, to do things, and then him being overcome by his work. If you know the musical, there's like a whole song where it's like he loves his work and nothing more. It kind of, there's like a vibe of that in here for one of the characters. I don't know. I just thought it was incredible. I definitely want to read My Darling Dreadful Thing. And she said these are kind of like sister books. That like, if you like this one, it is very similar to her in like tone, but like her third book will be very different for both of them. So I do really want to read My Darling Dreadful Thing. I'm very excited. I will not have time to start First Light yet. I am going to start it at some point today, but like, I don't know what's going on with my workday. So yeah, that is going to be a problem. Not the reading. The reading will be fine. Just like, I don't know what's going on. So I can't like, work officially does start very, very soon. A lot of us are in early, and notice this happening. A ton of, like, I always get in early in the event of a tech problem, because I am slightly paranoid of these things. And today I was very correct that there would be one. Also, sometimes if you're out for a day, things run really slow. So I'm glad I came in early, but because things are not working, it gave me time to update you. So yeah, but absolutely loved Blood on Her Tongue. Highly recommend if you love a vampire book. It is not a traditional vampire though, so please keep that in mind. The story is curious. So yeah, I feel like that's it for now. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's very, very good. This relationship gets very curious, and not in a way that you're thinking. It just, their relationship changes a bit after the sickness kind of takes hold. And yeah, there's just a lot. There's references to some stuff, and there's a reference that made me think of Victorian Psycho, because there's the bells, and someone was talking about bells or like being buried alive, and I was like, oh, and I was just thinking about Victorian Psycho because that book was also incredible. But I do need to go. This was so good. I will update you on First Light when I get there, just because I don't know when that's happening, but I do want to finish it before end of day Wednesday. So I will be starting it at some point today, but I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later, Gremlins, when I have an update. Not about my whole work situation. That'll figure itself out. I can't really control any of that, but I have an update on books, and probably other things. But talk to you later, Gremlins. This book was so wonderful. Hello. Okay, so today's still weird. I'm not going to get into it. It's just weird. I've read a teeny tiny bit of First Light. So I have it pulled up. And because I'm reading this on KU, I did not look at a description, a summary, nothing. Also, I do want to show you this is the iPad I use. These are some of my fun stickers. I like just got this one at the bookstore I went to in a different vlog. And then I got this one, and it fits perfectly. I wish I'd gotten more of these like tarot card sized ones because they fit perfectly on these little spots. But I've started it, and what's throwing me off a teeny bit is this is in dual timeline. And I don't think the first one was, but I've got to figure it out. So we're in like November of 2023, and then it says now for the other parts, so like the present. We're kind of jumping back and forth because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read the first one, but our main character is dealing with the fact that her life situation has changed, seemingly for the better, maybe, but like things are very strange. She's trying to cope, and in between the two timelines, she is looking for someone. Someone is being sought out, kind of. There are cops looking for them, but she is also trying to find this person. And again, I don't want to say too much. The downside is that a character I really liked in the first one is not in this so far. So there was a character named Jade, and she is not currently in this. We are getting like insight into where she is, but so far she's not interacting with our main character again. And this is gonna bug me because it's in the description. I'm gonna try and pull it up really fast. Ooh, so hard to do. Let's see. It's bugging me because I knew her name in the last one, and now my brain is just like, wait, what was her name? Let's go back. And here we go. Now I can officially tell you. Okay. Mia. Oh my gosh, it's Mia. Duh. So, yes. Mia is kind of on the hunt for something and someone. So that's all I will tell you. But that is like really all I can tell you. It's in dual timelines. Mia is our main protagonist the entire time, but just a lot of stuff is happening between the two events. She is kind of driving around in the current timeline, but in the November 2023 timeline, she is dealing with some things in Tucson still. So that may change just where I am right now. She's dealing with some Tucson stuff. Also, I don't know what is going on. I should not have told Krista that I thought it would be kind of funny to read books next year where people like have an amputation event, because this is the second book where this has come up. Someone has lost 2/3 of their pinky, and she's just casually like, oh, she's lost 2/3 of her pinky. She either lost it before she became a Sarah, or she had a rust accident, because like rust hurts Sarahs, which are the vampire type creatures in this. If you didn't know, the setup of this is there's been this disease called Saratovs, and they call people Sarahs, and vampires in this are called Sarahs. They are basically I don't want to say they're like your typical vampire. They do drink blood. They do need blood. They have died and come back. They can be killed by rust, sun. I'm trying to remember the other stuff, but there's sort of like an underground vampire network that we're being introduced to, and there was a Facebook group in the last one that was very important, and it's kind of coming up in this, but not as much. But yeah, so Sarahs are vampires in this, and Mia is not a Sarah, but Mia's mom is a Sarah. So yeah, but I don't want to tell you anything because this is the second book, and I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to try and be pretty vague, but I do want to give you my thoughts on this one because I really like the first one. And I am, now that I've caught on to the dual timeline part, I'm doing okay. But the day is just weird. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. It's just a strange day. I have been playing the YouTube videos I told you I would be playing, but that's really all I have as an update. I'm not very far in this. I am enjoying it so far. I am enjoying learning more about this like Sarah underground environment, because we were just at like a Sarah market, which was so wild. But yeah, but the pinky thing, I was like, I'm just gonna update because this is the second time in 2 books that hand things are going on. But yeah, so I just thought I'd give you an update. I do want to read more of this. I read KU stuff very quickly, and I think it's because it's digital. I don't know why that is, but I feel like I read digital text faster. I'm sure there's some reason for that. I'm sure I'm reading weirdly, or I'm doing some sort of skim job that I'm unaware of, where I'm maybe not catching everything. I don't know, but I do know I read faster when it's digital. So I don't anticipate this taking me very long, but I will update you when I can. Oh my gosh, I did not tell you the coolest thing that I did yesterday. Okay, maybe not the coolest, but I made dinner. I was gonna tell you and I forgot. So, I haven't been cooking or doing anything like super kitchen-y besides making coffee, because I just like, this is still gauze and I don't want anything to happen. But we had these steaks that we bought for Valentine's Day that we held off cooking. I had frozen them and I was like, we should probably eat them, because Krista said that she was worried they were gonna get freezer burnt. So I defrosted them over the weekend, and then we decided we were gonna make them, and Krista was doing some kitchen stuff. So I was like, okay, I think I can handle this. And I actually made steaks and instant potatoes. So like that seemed very impressive to me. I could not cut the steak, Krista had to cut the steaks, but I cooked them and did not injure myself. So that was like a big plus. We really just like hung out yesterday. She did some more work on the bathroom and I read, which I had already told you about. I just didn't tell you what she was doing while I was reading. So I basically read while Holiday Baking Championship from a million years ago was on, because Parker, one of our dogs, can watch that show and he's very invested in that show and he doesn't bark at it, which is nice. So he was like watching that while I read. And then Krista did bathroom stuff. She has done a ton of work, but she is waiting for additional flooring to come in so she can finish the floor. But she did a bunch of stuff yesterday while I was reading. But yeah, those are my updates. But I was very proud of myself for cooking dinner because I did not think I could do that. I also made these very tasty gin cocktails with pink gin we picked up over the weekend. And those were very nice. So we made that. I made dinner. And we really just like, were either watching Holiday Baking Champ with Parker, or we were watching Prison Break. We also caught up on a bunch of YouTube stuff, but yeah, that was really it. But I'm gonna go now. I just totally forgot to tell you, and I was very proud of myself for cooking food. Again, I don't have a ton of updates on my hand. I will in 2 to 3 weeks, because hopefully they'll be healed and I won't have to wear these anymore. I'm very tired of wearing gauze. It's my own fault. I'm just tired of wearing it. But eventually I won't have to, and I will have little sleevey guys that I will show you. But that will be in a later video. I need to go though. I just wanted to update you that I had read a teeny tiny bit, and that I remembered something I forgot. But yeah, gonna go. I will talk to you later, gremlins. Also, Happy Haunts Library posted an original tag that's halfway to Halloween, and I am tagged in it with a bunch of other people, which is very sweet. But I really want to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I want to do it as an independent video, like that other tag that I was tagged in, but I don't know. Do I want to? I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided, but it's really fun. I took a picture of all the questions so that I could answer them, and they're very fun questions. I really like them. One is about candy corn, and it made me chuckle because I do not like candy corn, but I love candy corn cider and this candy corn vodka we have, but I don't like candy corn, which is so weird. But I'm gonna go. I do need to do that at some point though, because I think it'll be fun. But I will talk to you later, gremlins. Good morning. I did not have to dress up today. I was supposed to do like a presentation thing at work, but we had to bump it, so I'm not doing it till next week. So I'm just wearing this cozy Harley and Ivy sweatshirt. I was really banking on us not giving the presentation today, so I put this on and I was like, if I have to change, I will change. But I didn't think I would. So I am very cozy. I did want to fill you in on First Light, which yes, this does not say First Light on it. This is just the thing I'm reading First Light from. But I think actively 50% through, like exactly at that number. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Again, it is dual timelines. We have gotten to see a couple things we didn't in the previous books, or just book. There's only one other book. In that one, we were introduced to the idea of Sarah centers where the infected could go, and the idea was they were horrifying, and it turns out some of them are, but we're introduced to a very fancy one in this, just so we can like get an idea for it. We see that there's a big surprise that happens for some stuff that I was like, oh, and we haven't learned exactly how it happened yet because of the dual timeline. So we know something has happened, but we have not seen the events that like led to it. So that is interesting. Also, some people are very dumb, but that's in part because someone is not willing to accept the truth in this and is very actively like, oh, you're obviously lying. And it's something Mia is saying, and Mia's like, I'm not lying. Like, would you just listen to me? And no one believes her. And I'm just like, okay. So that is an interesting way a certain plot is shaking out, because just people don't believe her. And yeah, I really can't tell you much without spoiling it. We have been introduced to, there's been a character throughout named Cora who is new to this book, and we're getting her in the present timeline, and then we've just now been introduced to her in the past timeline that we're getting. So we're learning more about her, who she is, what she does in that. We did get a Jade moment, because I did say Jade was not in this. Jade did appear, so I will say Jade has been in the story. I'm not going to say how or in what capacity, but Jade has been in the story. And I feel like that's all I can tell you without there being spoilers. But it is interesting. We're being introduced to some new medications that are related to the Sarah, and some things that are changing in terms of public view of Sarah's, sort of. So it is interesting. I am really enjoying it. I plan to finish it today, but it is just like, it feels a lot different than the other one because of the dual timelines to me, but I am still enjoying it, and I enjoy Mia as a main character. We're just watching Mia in a different like way. So I don't want to spoil anything because this is the second book of a duology. So some of the things Mia's doing are things she hasn't done previously, or things she's like trying out for the first time, I will say. So that is interesting to watch kind of evolve. So I am enjoying it. I really am. The writing is good. Everything about it is very immersive. I do feel very immersed in this world of the Sarah and this like version of the United States. So I am enjoying it. It just is different than the other one, and so I'm adjusting a bit because dual timeline sometimes takes me a little bit to understand, especially like when I first started. Now I'm good because I've been in it enough, but sometimes if there's a dual timeline and like we're just jumping back and forth and I have to reorient myself, it does take me a sec. I can't do dual timelines on audiobook typically unless it's like one timeline for a really long time and then the other timeline, like a time jump, but that's not really a dual timeline. I have to look at it. Like I have to check the top of the chapter every time, and I think if someone just said it to me, I'd be like, what? Where are we? Is it 2023 or the present? What's happening? So I am enjoying it. I do think I would have had to physically read this one. The other one, I think I could have listened to the audiobook. This one though, I would have been so lost. But I'm gonna go. I just wanted to update you a little bit. I'm gonna try and finish this today. So I will talk to you later, Gremlins, when I finished First Light. Hello, Gremlins. It is the end of my lunch break and I have finished First Light. Again, I do not want to spoil anything for you, so it's going to be tricky. There is a lot of action. There is a big plan revealed for a group that is introduced in the first book, so the Adept group. They kind of have some plans going on that we learn about and kind of see. There is a lot near the end. It ramps up a lot because Adept has its own plans, it's doing its own thing, and Mia is learning about them. We do get some details on Mia and how she is where she is now, and we also get an epilogue, which I wasn't expecting. And I don't want to tell you what the epilogue is, but I really enjoyed the epilogue. They do get into a little bit more about different age ranges and becoming a Sarah, so we do get that a little bit, and the time jump for the epilogue is pretty big, so there is sort of a shift a bit, is all I will say. It's really hard not to spoil a second book, especially because this is a duology, but did finish it. And I did enjoy it. It was different from the first one because of the alternating timelines, and it did take me a bit to get like comfortable with it. I can see why it was written that way. It did work well. I did not expect alternating timelines, but I am done. I did it. Those were 4 books in the most chaotic TBR ever, because 2 of these books, 3 of the books weren't even on my TBR. And then I moved books off of the TBR for this. So I did not read Reckless Girls or Ace of Spades. And then what other books did I have in there to begin with? I think I did read most of the ones I was going to. Just not those 2, but they're older. Because I read this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to go because I think the mail is here. But read First Light. What did I read besides First Light? Oh my gosh. The dogs are barking, so I can't even focus. You saw the books. They were there. I enjoyed all of them. But I do have to go. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe, dear Gremlins. I'm also on Instagram at ClefGoEverAfter. And yeah, this was just a very chaotic TBR, ending with chaotic dog barking. And yeah. The next vlog was also going to be something else, and I've changed my mind. So I'm just a very chaotic reader this month. But I will see you in the next video, and if you haven't, you should definitely check out the First Light series, which I think, is that it? Yeah, the first book's Night's Edge. You should definitely check it out if you hadn't. I talked about that in a different vlog that's a little older. But I'm going to go talk to you in the next one, Gremlins.